way back when, I'd like to say, when I first started dating Matthew, I said,
Oh, yeah.
I would love, what one needs to do is to go across the country like in a slow, deliberate way so that you can actually see everything that happens.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're gonna someday, Matthew, we're gonna ride horses across the United States. Wouldn't that be amazing? And so Matthew was like, okay, you're a little bit strange, but he lovingly, for my birthday, I think, got me the gift of horseback riding lessons, one horseback riding lesson. And Matthew and I did that one time, and I could not walk for 2 weeks afterwards.
It ruined our inner.
It was the worst. I was like, I'm never riding a horse again. I'm sorry, I'm not cut out for this.
But Robbi had the right idea.
Yes.
She just didn't know the right conveyance.
Yes.
I mean, the real answer to this is we live in Chestertown, this beautiful historic town, brick sidewalks, lovely architecture, great colonial history, and a 5-minute walk from our house.
We're not so great colonial history.
Right. The appearances of the town are of affluence and charm. Yes. But right here in our community, we have 3 Title I elementary schools with an extraordinarily high population of students living below the poverty line, qualifying for free or reduced lunch. We send our kids to that school,
Garnett
Elementary School. Robbi and I both went to Title I elementary schools ourselves. Robbi went to
Garnett Elementary.
And they have the same gym mats now that they did when she was in school. There isn't
45 years ago,
and
right?
They still work. That's fine. That's not the main point. The point is the classes are too large. The teachers are stretched too thin. They use their own money to buy supplies. We have a problem right here in Kent County where our schools are not getting the attention or the support that they deserve. So a few years ago, we said, we're going to all of these affluent elementary schools.
We're getting paid to do school visits, right? Where we're asked to come in and we're asked to talk to students. And usually it's in conjunction with a book fair. So after we talk, we're asked to go to the book fair and sign books for kids who buy our books. And generally speaking, the books cost, $15, $20, right?
Right.
And so a lot of the kids, even in those schools that could afford to have us come, the kids who, not all the kids could get the books, which is a super bummer to watch a kid who's really excited about reading your book be like, I don't have the money to buy this.
And a lot of times there'd be a kid in the line to get a book, just sort of standing there, not being able to afford it. And we just give the kid a book because it's heartbreaking otherwise. You want that child to be able to walk away with the book that they just heard the presentation about. So we said, what if we did a presentation like this at Garnett? We can easily donate our time. But what about the books? We want to be able to give books to all the students and all the teachers. So Robbi set up a GoFundMe. And
so we started this fundraiser thinking that it would take us, several weeks to raise enough money to buy books for the entire school.
We needed $4,000.
Probably going to be $4,000, right? So we set our goal and we said that we really wanted to do this. And we did we live cast? How did we?
No, we just put it up.
We just put it up on Facebook, I think. And in a day, we had made enough money to pay for all of the books at Garnett. And that was sort of eye-opening for us, that this was something that people were excited about and interested, willing to, really excited to be able to have the opportunity to give books to these kids.
We always put ourselves into our presentations. So we say, look, this is a thing that 2 regular goofy people made together. You can do the same stuff too. So that's always at the core of it. So that at the end, when they get their own book, they say, here's an object created by those people I met and connected with. They made this. I can be creative too. I can tell my story too. That's the very simplified version of what we think is happening and why we think it can be powerful. Jim, the point is we know this works, and we wanted to do a trip that allowed us to satisfy Robbi's cross-country horseback riding itch while also letting us connect with, we're guessing, about 25,000 students across the country. And also the real bigger possibility is to just help people everywhere be aware of this problem. We cannot solve the problem of poverty. We cannot solve the problem of our nation's public schools needing extraordinary resources that they're not currently getting, but hopefully we can draw awareness to the problem. So that's the goal.
Wow, you said that so well, even though it took a long time.
Oh, Jim said we could be quite long-winded if we need to. Do you want to talk about the other thing that we're really excited about that has a Chestertown connection?
Yes. So we're also for this trip.
Wait,
so we
haven't said what the trip is. Robbie, what is the trip?
It is. Look. It is Robbi and Matthew's Busload of Books tour.
Wait.
We just got our mugs yesterday,
so we're super excited. Gave herself a great big huge mug. Look at my little teeny mug. I'm trying not to read anything into this, but it seems. But look, I am director of transportation.
Yes.
What am I transportation of, friends? Yes. We are going to climb into a 24-foot Thomas school bus that our good friend Brian Thompson, extraordinary Chestertown contractor of Red Door Remodeling, is converting into a tiny home.
Yes.
And we and our 4 children and 1 ill-behaved dog,
terrible dog,
are going to take the ultimate road trip. We are going to visit Title I schools in all 50 states, giving the assemblies on creativity and collaboration that we just talked about, and giving out, ideally, a free book to every student and teacher that we meet. There was a moment, or a long moment, where we thought we were going to use an RV, because of course, you use an RV for maximum comfort. But we went to an RV show with Brian, and he said, we were
looking at all these RVs, and they were just, some of them were just so excessive. And then other ones, we were just sort of just like, this doesn't, it feels so.
We weren't inspired by them. This is a trip where we need to inspire people. If we're going to have people follow along and be engaged, there has to be an inspirational narrative, right? We're dealing with a very sad problem, but there also has to be hope and energy and joy and spirit in the adventure if we're going to succeed in keeping people engaged enough to hear the hard parts of the story, right? Yeah. So Brian said to us, you guys, you could just buy a school bus and I could fix it up for you. And just a light bulb. Let's leave the RV show now.
We're going. We're done with this.
So the school bus is not going to be as comfortable as an RV.
No.
It's like there's ways in which it's going to be hard, but the story is in the spirit, and this bus as an emblem of literacy and all of the hope and generosity that all of these people have put in to supporting our mission. And ideally, Jim, the plan is to keep raising money as we travel for the next adventure.